live on the wrong screen. On the right screen. Look at that. We're big now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our stream. Today we have a sort of special episode. Last session, these lads ended up curing one person of the plague, which was super cool. And hopefully, maybe, possibly today, they'll cure a second thing, person, entity. Unclear. But before all of that, I'm going to ask all of my lovely, lovely players to introduce themselves, starting with Feather.
I was not prepared for this. Hello, I'm Feather. I'm playing Throgyn. I have just met another artificer, and that is so exciting. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna get her to look at all my designs. I want her to let me know if I can fly.
May, who are you? Oh no, I picked the wrong person.
Maybe. Okay, I check audio and streams, and then I have to make sure I'm muted, and then I have to unmute, and then I have to mute that. Anyway, it's all production. Anyway, hello. I am May. I play our half-orc cleric. Big. Let's see. Tune into him emotionally right now. How's he doing? Actually, he's doing great. This is incredible. He's got the connecting link between all his points of research that was missing, and it's incredible. And he's gonna, yeah, I might have to tone it down. We'll see.
Rose, who are you and who are you playing?
I am Rose. I play Cam, a changeling druid who recently got very much zapped. So Rose isn't very energetic today, but Cam got zapped, so Cam's also just okay with only existing right now.
And Sunny K, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Sunny K, GQ's muscle mommy for the year 2025, and I play Yuka, the Witch of the Woods.
All right, that's the energy we're bringing to the stream today. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
This is our last stream before we go on hiatus for a while, as Annalise will explain at the end of the stream.
Yes.
So I figured let's get real silly with it.
I hope you're ready for the muscle mommy Yuka art anyways.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where we ended off last time is all of our 4 companions, including one additional person named Saoirse, a gnome with just electric blue hair. We're all heading towards Yuka's house. And where we're going to start today's session is you have all had a long rest at Yuka's home, soft furs over soft hay mattresses. You are feeling very rested, very recovered, spell slots back, all of that good stuff. And then there's dew on the grass. The birds haven't even really started crowing yet, but there are 2 artificers sitting outside, looking at these massive unrolled parchment papers that somebody copied from the Owl Library.
I'm using all of my friends to make these wings together, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, Saoirse, do you think this would work if I made the feathers out of a very thin wood material? Or should I get real actual feathers? Because I feel like that would be better for water resistance, and it would be better for lightness, but also where do I get feathers this big?
Hang on, you want to try and make these out of wood? You know that's not the same material. That is so much heavier. How much energy are you putting in this thing to get your lift? If they're thin, they're not going to be strong. You got to mimic the natural feathers of it all.
But then, what material is not a feather?
I don't know. Why not a feather?
Okay.
Look,
Good
I
point.
work with metal. I don't know why you're asking me these questions.
Okay. I've already made like a little prototype for an ignition.
Yeah.
I grab it out of my pocket.
All right. So this is fire propulsion. How are you gonna keep that consistent?
There's this mechanism that makes sure that the fuel is always the same.
I see. Fair enough. So you'll have
So
to
that
bring the
should
fuel up
have
with you. So you'll have to
some-
increase your thrust. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna try it out later.
Fair
I
enough.
just made it. I'm gonna try it out. I don't know.
Do you want to ask your other
I
friends?
should be able.
I mean, you got two
What?
druids here. You got two druids here. Surely they have a feather supplement.
I'm a bit scared of Yuka.
Yuka goes into her little hut in the lightning struck tree, and she pulls out a perfectly preserved bird wing that you suspect was once a crow or a raven, but has been bleached by the sun. Yeah.
Incredible. This is so cool. Thank you so much.
The underside is just
I
still
hope-
completely like black ink colored.
She's gonna
Where-
go back to watching her son.
Funnily enough, you can't find where Shinda is.
I think some motherly instinct knows to check by the river to watch him fish.
He's not by the river. Anyways, back to Throgyn.
Interesting.
Is it one wing or was it one set of wings from a crow?
It was one wing. Like, you know how there are a couple of buildings in the United States that are pretty notorious for being spots where bigger birds hunt for smaller birds, and they'll get the guts, but they'll let the wings fall down onto the ground.
Charming.
It's just a perfectly preserved wing.
Wild.
But
I expert duplicate the wing.
okay, you got two crow wings.
Perfect. I put them with my little machine
Sure.
because I want to try it out.
Sure.
This is the small version. And I make it. I try to make it fly. Do I need to roll anything?
So if you're making a small version that is the size of two crow wings, I will not make you roll. What you're going to see is as you set it to go and you light the tiny little fuse that you've attached to your tiny propulsion engine, you see that it does launch off the ground fairly easily. However, it very quickly seems to run out of thrust. Now, I want to remind you as well, you're not putting additional magic into this, you're only using the powder and the fuel that you had sort of in the model. But what you can tell in your, official technical opinion is this thing is going to run out of fuel very, very quickly if you stick to combustion. If you wanted better results, it would probably need some sort of arcane propulsion in addition to this. However, However, the crow wings made out of feathers are very effective and very lightweight.
Incredible.
Also, her name is Saoirse.
Saoirse. She is a artificer
Right.
doing stuff with electricity.
Metal, but yeah. Also
Metal,
electricity
okay.
a little bit. Electricity and metal.
Yeah. Do you think you could help me make a better motor that runs with electricity instead of...
I mean, I can certainly give you things that harness electricity, and she pulls one of those wands out of one of her boots again. And it's, about the length of your forearm, Throgyn, made out of metal. You can see that there's, it almost looks like veins inside of it, but instead of holding blood, it's holding just straight crackling electricity that you can see sort of ping-ponging back and forth. I mean, I don't necessarily have a motor per se, but I do have things that cause thrust. And she hands over one of those wands to you. You could give me a intelligence-based craft check. So proficiency plus the Tinker's Tool bonus.
So what was the you said? What plus Tinker's bonus?
Intelligence, proficiency plus your Tinker's Tools.
That's a lot.
Yes. You are good at this thing.
Wait. Plus 6. Plus 3. Plus 11. Where is my proficiency? There it is. Okay, I found it. That's plus 12.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A 23.
Yeah. With a 23, what you are going to be able to see is you would be able to, I mean, obviously you can't use the ones in her wands because they are very small for what you would want to use it for. But you can disassemble one of her wands and put it in your, like, prototype version. And you see that using this and Saoirse giving it just like the tiniest little shocking grasp spark. Or not even Saoirse giving it a spark, but using the spark that was already inside of the wand. It is able to not only shoot off the ground with the combustion that you had given it, but it's also able to actually maintain altitude and glide and fly with the additional electric energy. If you would manage to scale this up so that you have something resembling real feathers and a larger version of both your combustion engine and this electricity sort of conduit, you're pretty confident you'd be able to fly.
Okay. Sure shit. How do you make these? How do you make these wands? Can you teach me?
I can absolutely teach you. Here, actually, give me a second. Give me the... Never mind. And you see that she'd, like, held out her hand to take her wand back, looked down, realized that it was taken apart, takes her hand back, takes the other one out of her boot. And... Go ahead, yeah? You see that she sort of taps it 3 times on the back of her hand, flicks it at you, and then a scroll appears. And this tiny little spark of, like, electrical sparks falls into your hand, and you see that if you open it up, it's got schematics for this exact type of thing.
Incredible. Thank you so
There
much.
is one problem, Throgyn. The schematics are in Gnomish. And archaic Gnomish at that.
Language do they speak? What do you got there?
Fig, they use the combined TH.
Like, I didn't know artificers. The few that I've known were sort of
use
cringy
thorns
with
and
their, like,
Fs.
blueprints. Do you speak Gnomish? No. Okay.
Fig, I love you.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure, do you have
I
any
could
explanation? I do not know this language.
I could be stingy. First of all, I could be stingy with my blueprints, but what's the fun in that, right? Like, I mean, it's better if you got more of the things. That's how you get new things. I can help. Do you need it translated?
I would love that.
All right, give it back to me. I will get this to you in like half a day.
Perfect.
Secondary question: do you want it in modern common or in my common?
Yuka goes up to Fig and is like, those words seem rather antiquated. Do you believe she may need assistance from a historian?
I mean, if you want help from a historian,
Do you speak?
I mean,
do you speak Gnomish?
She comes in really close to Fig and is like, I need these daisies and this wood spring
Like,
to stop talking about how you two should go off into the corner together and just do it.
No, what? No. That's totally the wrong idea.
What are you two talking
She
about
is
over
a,
there?
Languages. Hi. It's
Can you just, by the way, say
um,
what you said again? Because I completely missed you. Meg, you.
No, I just said languages. We're talking about the languages. That's
The bit before that is what I missed.
no, you've got the totally wrong idea. She's a primary source, and I can't tarnish that.
Certainly. Now, go make this not my problem anymore because I can only deal with so much chatter from wind violets today.
Right. So, Saoirse,
Yeah.
if you needed some help with the common, I've done ancient common to regular common.
Oh.
I mean, I might not be best at the technical language, if that's what you're some of that, but the rest of it, I should be okay with.
I more than appreciate it. That'd be a big help, actually. I'm more confident in the archaic stuff myself, so there's a sunny spot over there if you want to sit.
Oh, nice to see it. Throgyn just like winking at me, and I'm yeah. Wait, please ignore my colleagues.
Oh, were they doing something?
They are. No, it's fine. And I pull her over. This gnome that's like at probably half the size of me.
She like just barely comes up to the top of your thigh. Anyways, yeah, if you'll look here, I can translate most of the stuff into common, like I said. Fig, you will see that as she starts translating these documents, she's sketching out, she's writing it directly on top of the copy for whatever, that hurts you.
Yep. And also, I can use my knowledge of the ages if I need to be proficient in anything.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You see that she begins sketching out the common. And as she goes, and as you see like 1 and then 2 words and then 3 words get translated, with each additional word, you, Fig, get the sense that you could piece this together if you wanted to. Like, it's a different language, and you're not familiar with it at all, but you're starting to see patterns a lot quicker than you would have otherwise. And you think that you would have a chance at, like, directly translating one of these words from Gnomish if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm not gonna write it down, but I would just like to be like, maybe lean a little closer and be like, oh, so that's the word there for aeronautics. That's in aerodynamics. That's interesting.
Fig,
Cool.
can you please roll me a d20 as if you had proficiency in this language? So intelligence proficiency, please.
What is that? That was originally a nat 1, and then it ended a 6.
Aeronautics, you said? No, that's the word for spring. Spring.
Oh, I suppose I thought it meant was like the mechanical spring that like lifted you off into the air. That would be the flight. So sorry.
No,
That was-
no,
Let me look for my notes.
you're
Oh,
adorable.
okay. No,
It's completely fine. You said you didn't know Gnomish.
Yeah. Mhm. Anyway.
Like, can an hour in, I like have whatever snack we made just delivered on like Move Earth, like it's literally
This
like,
earth
it's
starts
nice
just, and you see that Saoirse, before it's even like in front of them, has just picked up like a cake barehanded and going, arm.
She's the perfect woman for him.
Thank you, Cam.
Oh, the
Yeah,
camera
go
here.
right here.
Delicious.
Right. Like I'm very cautious that it's like I think I take like 2 or chopsticks out of my bag because I don't want my hands to touch food, to touch paper I'm writing on.
Saoirse just puts and then puts hand back on paper.
She's perfect. I love her.
But yeah, if you could start translating these bits over here, I've already got them in common. Should be easy enough for you. If there's any words you don't understand, it's probably a technical word. Feel free to just leave it as is.
Okay. Cool.
I will let you do this with your expertise. This is something that you have done. You are an anthropologist. If you want to do anything else to try and impress Saoirse,
It's not. I'm not trying to impress. I'm just trying to be competent. Okay.
with translation of archaic common into modern common, you can be competent without rolling because this is something you are good at. You translate it down. Do you write the translations on the paper, or do you write them on a different paper?
No. Fully transcribed. We're fully new paper.
By the time that you two have finished, there is the original paper that has all of the like schematics on it, written in archaic Gnomish and archaic common, and then you have a secondary paper that you like unfolded one of your big pamphlets, sort of wiped it clean, and then transcribed not only the words, but I'd also like to have a Arcana roll to see if you can transcribe the schematics.
Yeah, I was thinking like, especially for some of the technical words where it's like maybe I've kept the original, but then broken down what I think the word means underneath it, even though my current con is also a bad roll. Not that one, but still an 8.
Still an 8. You have certainly tried to break down some of these words. Your lines on the schematics itself are a bit wonky. They're a bit like, it's clear what shape you were going for, but you're not an artist. You don't do like these things.
Yeah.
And with some of the more specific words, you think that you can pick out the bits of like, oh, this means rotation, so surely it's a disc. The moment Throgyn looks at this and the moment Saoirse looks at this, they're both gonna go, oh, that is not what that means. That is not what that means at all. Rose, you have your hand up.
I just want to have the scale on the drawings, please. I don't want to forget that. There is a scale. The drawings might not be the scale, but there is a scale.
The scale is completely different from the drawing. Rose, you had your hand up.
Yeah. Like a few episodes ago in the Feywild, I bought a batch of like spell slot infused cookies. Can I just get a portal to he so I can throw the cookies through? I don't want to go through. I don't want to talk to the guy. No thanks, but I'm just gonna throw the cookies into the dimension. I mean, would I have to lose them?
Rose,
could
also,
put
we
them in
do
his
have
phone.
just his book. Yeah, we can just like smash it. And
We'll just put it directly into his bones.
So, Cam, I will get to that in a moment. Saoirse, Fig, you and Saoirse get finished with the schematics and all of that. By the time you two are done, just by proxy of you are both hanging over the same piece of paper, you are sitting very close to each other. you have noticed that during this entire sort of escapade, you're not sure if she's conscious of it or not, but at some point, like, your legs just ended up against each other. And by the time she, like, leans back to sort of sit up, she's accidentally, like, underneath you as you're leaning over to look at something on the other side of the paper. And just there's a quick little, oh, sorry about that, as she tries to, like, extract herself quickly.
May, I'm very sorry if this is something that, like, we projected onto you and not what you wanted to do with Fig.
It's fine. Fig needs more romantic entanglements, I suppose.
We were joking, Sunny K and I, yesterday, that unfortunately it's very fun for me as a DM to just throw these very competent people at Fig. And we decided that Fig was an equal opportunity rejecter. You remind me of Moreau. Good guy. Anyways, we should return these to Throgyn.
Certainly, and if you ever like to talk of your friends, Rogue, I'd be open to hearing about it.
Oh, sure. And she, like, reaches up.
The dragons. Where is he right now?
Does Fig know he was compared to one of the dragons?
I think he's got a vague idea about it, and it's incredible. That's why he's suave right now.
As Fig and Saoirse walk back over, like, you get the very distinct sense that Fig's getting a bit too big for his britches. Not in any raunchy way, but more just like in a, oh, his ego's going up. Anyways, Throgyn, here's these back. Fig's been kind enough to translate them from archaic into modern.
Thank you so much to the both of you. That's incredible. That's really good.
Yeah, no worries.
No, it was a wonderful time.
Yeah,
I suddenly winked at Fig.
Nope. Deception check. Stealth check, deception check. One of the two.
Give me a second.
This bird is winking.
Okay, I'll do deception. I could also do sleight of hand.
No, with your eye? With your eye?
Slice the lid.
You're gonna take out your, like, what are they called? The fushigi balls just in your one hand while you wink with the other.
Nat 20!
Not only, now, Throgyn, not only do you wink in such a way that Saoirse has absolutely no idea you winked, she also, you are actively in conversation with her. She knows nothing is going on. She knows nothing is wrong. Fig. It was the most excruciatingly long half a second of your life. You heard every single intention in your brain that Throgyn was trying to convey to you.
Mother told me I can't get married until I finish my education.
Mrs. Balustrade more.
No.
Oh, she's that
When you go up there.
traditional Caledonian.
Ooh.
She's Fig's mother is the no dating before marriage type.
Truly. But then you have to have a child immediately.
No dating before your PhD.
No dating before your marriage and no marriage before your PhD. The third one.
I also like that maybe it's like Fig's interpretation that he was in like middle school and she's like, no, you gotta finish like this school year, honey. And now he's just like, oh, school, I have to finish school. Understood.
Selective listening.
Got better.
It's true.
Yeah, you
Now,
were
this is
very
the
much
thing where
listening
I
to my
wanted the whole
word.
time.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm getting a bit tired.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for all your help.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll keep you up to date if you're interested. If not, I will be out here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. If you'd like to
Yuka!
take a break, there's. Oh, yeah.
Witch lady. Can I sleep in the house, or is that not allowed?
You may sleep in the house on the guest furs. You will find them near the kitchen.
Thank you. Have a nice day and all that. Oh,
Yes, thank you.
There are raccoons and other critters in the roof. They will make noise. This
yeah, I
is their
saw them
home
last
as much
night. They
as it
tried to
is
take my
mine.
wand.
Then you must find a cleverer hiding place for it.
Yeah. It's easier to fight than boof.
Also, Fig hard contemplated like helping her with that, but he think it would be construed as a weird thing for him to do. So
Fig
he's
just
just
watched. Fig just watched this woman punch a raccoon. With that, you see Saoirse walks back
Fan
inside.
artists, you know what to do.
Saoirse walks back inside, and you know, if you were to strain yourself, or if you're Cam, you hear just like a yawn and some like scrambling together and scraping of like furs and stuff, and then snoring.
I give I try to give Fig a little nub nudge. I don't know what to call that. Nudge. I give Fig a little nudge, but I'm really tiny, so it's like against his upper leg.
Fig keeps getting taller every time we describe heights in relation to Fig.
Fig's ego gets stroked. He just grows like 3 inches.
See, he's grown confidence,
You know, I'm
so now
understanding.
he's like he's stopped punching.
Of course, yes.
Throgyn, I'd appreciate if you didn't insinuate anything, please.
Oh, of course. I'm so sorry. As soon as Fig turns around, I'm just.
Yuka, when she hears that, Yuka just looks at the grass and the shrubs, and she's like, "Did you hear that?" No insinuating anything.
It was directed at the bird, not at us.
I think you know damn well to whom it was directed.
He can't speak
If
to
I
us, he can't
see
hear us.
good speaking directly down at plans, I am gonna say it. Yes, it's also directed toward you.
Oh, boo. You're no fun. Not that Fig can hear any of this. Rose, Cam, you want to send some sweets to one warlock. How are you going to make contact with said warlock?
Well, what I've known in the past is that you talk about it, and then a playing card shows up, and the playing card becomes a portal. So I'll just wander off a bit, like start skipping some stones on the water, and talk about how I have cookies that I need to deliver to this one guy. If only he could give me a portal to have me deliver the cookies, that would be appreciated.
As you say this, and as you throw one of your stones into the water, it never hits the surface of the water.
Wow, I wasn't planning on getting it.
You see as this stone is about to, it suddenly stops in the air and drops as if it loses its momentum. As this inky purple sort of tear begins to appear where it would have hit the water. And if you peer over ever so slightly, you can see the top of a pile of junk.
It's your own fault.
And Cam drops the sweets into this tear. And as they fall, you hear a... Thank you! Do you...
For you, I don't know rather like mechanically, but I did put the level 2 spell slot in like the dozen.
It does matter. It does absolutely matter. Thank you. He has cookies. Enjoy. Before you're able to walk off, as this tear begins sort of closing, shrinking shut, one thing shoots out of it, thrown, and sticks into a tree next to you.
I'm gonna say ow because it's funny.
Sorry! Wait, no, I didn't hit you. I know I didn't hit you. And the seam behind you shuts. And if you look at the thing that's in the tree now, you find a single playing card. It is a 7 of spades with the back printed in purple with this intricate sort of almost smoke-looking pattern where the smoke transitions into various drops of color. So the negative space forms these wisps, and the positive space forms these like droplets, almost as if it is ink splattered on a page. Thumbs up.
I'm taking the card because the card has been communication before.
Yeah. With that, you can
Also,
head back. Oh, go ahead.
The dark side now has cookies. Just saying.
They do have cookies now. It's assuming that he is the dark side.
Dark purple side.
Dark purple side. With that, you can head back towards Yuka's home with no untoward visitors, other than like maybe a tick or something. Yuka. Throughout the morning, you have been trying to find Shinda. He was strangely absent when you arrived last night. He was very clearly here. You had seen that his bed was made up, and that the like fresh water basin had been taken with him. So you assumed he was off just gathering water. But by the time you woke up in the morning, the basin was back and full. The furs had been slept in, but there was no Shinda.
Lord Bestial.
You hear no response.
She's gonna go outside. She's gonna circle the whole she's gonna do the mom thing where like, nobody left a note. I'm gonna circle around the whole property until I find some indication of where people may be.
Of course. The Lord Bastille. You circle around the whole property. And you find a survival check for me.
Just regular survival, no add-ons, right?
Correct.
Oh, crit failed.
You find nothing. You find absolutely nothing of interest to where Shinda may have gone. You do find. These are the things you do find. You do find Cam's footprints, having left and returned. You do find Fig and Saoirse's footprints, having walked through the clearing and returned. You do find evidence that he was here overnight. Like I said, the furs had been slept on, the water basin had been returned full. You also find evidence of a set of hoofprints, unshoed, the remains of a small game creature, possibly a possum. Only the viscera left at the edge of a clearing. And you see kudzu growing from a direction that you know that you have historically kept your waist.
Is this normal, or like is the kudzu specifically normal, or is the kudzu something to be worried about?
The kudzu is not specifically normal. Having plant growth in that area is not bizarre. Like, that's not exactly the direction you would go to if you wanted to speak to the Lady Verdant, but it's like the same general vibe, general zone. But the kudzu is weird.
Okay. I think can I do an Arcana check?
Of course.
I think I know what that is, but I want confirmation. Jesus Christ. 10.
10. Footprints are not magical. They're hoof prints. The viscera is not in and of itself magical. That said, the fact that there is no other remains other than the organs is a bit strange. Like, there are certain animals that will just leave the organs, but none that you would expect to have this close to your camp. Unless you've picked up a cat in the time that you've been gone. The kudzu
Unlikely.
is magical. It is magical. It very specifically has the flavor of that same primordial magic you associate with the Lord Bestial and the Lady Verdant, but a little bit different than 10 years ago. A little bit younger, a little bit newer.
I'm wondering if Big sees Yuka, like, looking around, trying to investigate something.
Are there any birds or other wildlife around this area?
Most definitely.
Okay. She's going to find to the bird that she knows to be the most reliable in conveying truthful messages. She is going to call over and offer a little piece of jerky.
You see that the bird that flies over is bright red. Unusually so, given how late in the year it is. But a cardinal lands on your outstretched hand.
I have a task for you with payment in full.
Of course you do.
Should you choose to undertake.
Of course you have a task for me. I'm always the most reliable.
Will prove you get to hold your standard.
Mm-hmm.
Take this in exchange for a message to the Lord Bestial to keep Sheba safe. And return home by dark.
I can do 2 out of the 3 of those things.
Oh, and why would that be?
Well, the Lord Bestial no longer controls the boy's safety. I could deliver the message, but it will not make it true.
And who controls the boy's safety?
And this is the first time, Yuka, you've ever seen this bird do this. His feathers ruffle. He shrinks a little bit, but also, like, he shrinks his neck into his body and puffs up his body. He's afraid. You're able to read. There are not many things in these woods that make the beasts afraid.
That make the
beasts afraid. This is not a fear of predator. This is not a fear of death or of dying. This is not a fear of sickness or grief. This is a fear of, it is something so big I will not say its name. It is something so different to me that my death means nothing in the grand scheme of things. This is of the other.
Resisting the urge to say my GM's full Christian name on stream.
Please don't dox me.
I will not.
Maybe we did meet that warlock.
Is the one responsible for my boy's safety. twitch.tv/Nalise.
The sky rips open. Fools! It's been me the whole time. I've been here the whole time. No.
Do we need to
Please don't come beat me up.
Scheduling a transatlantic cruise. I'm coming up to beat your ass. coming over.
She'd become Philadelphia, no.
I'm coming over to get you. I'm coming over to get your ass over the water.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyway.
It wasn't Philadelphia until you said Philadelphia, and then that was my job. Okay, so... Fine then. Find the boy and tell him to return home safely before dark.
Once again, dearest steward, I can deliver a message, but it will not come true if it cannot. The boy is his own creature.
Here's your toll.
And you see that the bird closes its eyes, nods its head, and takes off towards the kudzu vine.
She just lets her whole face crumple in front of the other birds. Fig, what are you looking at?
No, we're, it's just, you were, looking for something. I was wondering if we could help.
Forgive a mother wanting to take care of her child. We have things to do. I have things to do. Where is the Lady Verdant right now?
Using your ability to reach out and sense what's around you, listening to the whispers of the reeds, the murmurings of grass, you would be able to recognize and get the information fairly quickly that the Lady Verdant is located in that same direction the cardinal just flew off. Likely a 15-minute walk out into the woods, just far enough away from your home to not overtake it, yet close enough to be accessible. Far enough that you'd want to take all of you.
I'm going to the Lady Verdant. I will follow this path. I would be grateful if you came along. If all of you came along.
I will go with you.
Certainly, Yuka.
The four of you begin.
And then Camp joins us too.
Yes, Cam joins too.
The four of you begin walking into the woods. Yuka, it's been a while since you've done this in your own woods. Going to a place of the old gods. Well, not the old gods, the primordial gods. A force of nature. A force of only nature. Slowly walking towards where the brush gets heavier. The vines grow thick. And though you're not walking a significant way, the trees above you begin to blot out the sun. The moss and the lichen on the trees around you begins to glow an eerie blue. A blue that you, Yuka, you've seen before in moss and lichen and water of the coast. But that never gets any more comforting when you see it. It's a blue that sickens you, not instantly, but the longer you're in it, the more you feel on edge, as if you know what this blue feeds off of. As if you know that eventually your bones turn to dust, your blood feeds the roses, and the creeper vines take all. You are but produce to the trees. And nowhere is that more obvious than here. As you keep going and as the insects fall silent, the brooks stop babbling. And by the time you reach where you're going, there is nothing save the sound of your own breathing, heartbeat in your ears, and the rustling of leaves through the wind. What you find at the end of this pathway that even Yuka, in all of her ease in moving through the woods, has to tranche and trudge and snap vines and brambles to get through, is a figure. An old redwood. Tall enough you can't see the top through the thick canopy. Vines, needles, boughs reaching downwards. There is a clearing here, but there is so much more as well. There's undergrowth outcompeting each other for the slivers of light that gets here. There's dead logs and detritus. No fungus that you can see. However, there is still this light, this unnatural glow coming from the trees, branches, and such. There's kudzu growing off of it. Out of the tree. Out of the cracks in the branches, out of the knots in the wood. And it spills out over the ground. This clearing is not big. 30, 25, 20 foot across. Big enough to see, and thick enough outside of it to not have vision past the tree line. There is still no sun here. Well, there is a sun here. You see a boy, maybe 11, sat on what looks to be a tree stump, old, cut clean through. A skilled woodsman must have done it. He sat there. Blonde hair. Not glowing, but reflecting the light that you can see.
Blonde?
Blonde. And you see his legs have been absorbed into the kudzu. Vines grow around him. About up to his waist now. You can still see his upper body clearly, but you can also see where the vines are continuing to creep upwards. It is Shinta, in facial structure, in build.
He's going to kneel before the redwood with her head bowed and her palms pressing into it as hard as can be done without physically breaking through the bark.
Sunny K.
Yeah.
As you try and push through the kudzu on the ground to get to this tree, I am going to need a dexterity check from you.
Dexterity save or dexterity check?
Give me a save.
What if we got a good roll this time? Okay, it's a 16.
It's a good roll. You can get to the tree. Continue on.
If I am not good at it, but would like to try to follow as support. If it's easier, I'd be walking in her footsteps.
Yeah, I'm still gonna need a dexterity save, Fig. You gotta give it to me.
If possible, I want to suddenly grab Threadbreaker.
Yeah, you're able to do that.
Oh, okay.
That's What you got for me? What you got for me? 16.
Even if my negative what?
Fig, you are also able to follow Yuka without being restrained.
And as I walk up to Yuka, it's the if you need us, we're here. Pat on the back. Self-guided.
As you two walk through here, you are able to walk through, however, it is like pushing against a current. Fig, you've never felt this before. As you take steps and as you tear your feet free from where they have been tangled into this vine, it feels almost as if the vine is crashing together where space is left. You feel as if it is slithering along past your legs, desperately trying to get a hold of you, but you're able to step just quick enough for it to never quite get a grip on you. You don't know if this is what the forest feels like to Yuka, or if this is unusual. Yuka, you place your hands on the redwood.
Lady Verdant. Mother. And consumer. And ender. And rebirth. I am here. Let me help you as you was help me.
The three of you, and Yuka if your eyes are open, see the bark on the tree begin to shift and warp. It doesn't become a face. Nothing quite so magical happens. It is clear, however, that the tree is looking, that the plants are looking, that the forest is looking. The redwood in the center, the vines dripping off of it, the lichens, the brush, all begin to bow as if pulled towards Yuka, as if craning necks and peering eyes.
What were you saying?
Yuka, is that you? As this voice emanates from every shake of a leaf around you. It is not a humanoid voice. It is the plants around you whispering words in a facsimile of speech.
Why has it taken you so long, Yuka? Time has been taken from me too. And I'm here now.
I see. You should go. Mom. And to the two of you far enough back in the clearing that you can see the blonde boy. He has also turned his head towards Yuka. And you can see that he is speaking in time with the leaves, with the pollen. His eyes are not open yet, but you do see vines beginning to grow out of the corners of them and down around his face, dipping into his nostrils and his mouth.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Of course you can.
Okay, GM said that nothing bad would happen. Well, GM said that no kids were gonna get hurt.
GM did say that no kids were going to get hurt. This is still true.
GM's a fucking liar.
What what I specifically want to do is this situation seems to me to Throgyn to
Yeah.
have something to do with the kudzu you said.
Yeah.
Because the kudzu also around the boy, right?
Yep.
I would like to see, if possible, if I have any idea whether the kudzu is good and supposed to be here.
Okay.
If possible, I would like to see what that because I have an expectation that maybe the kudzu represents something.
So Throgan, I am gonna give you some bad news. With those questions, I need you to either give me a nature check or a religion check.
Okay, wait.
The questions to me.
Oh, those are both. I have +3. Wait.
Oh,
nature
okay,
or
never mind. We're
religion
good.
check? Yeah, I have both +3. That's fine. Does it matter which one I do for what?
Nope. You get to choose one.
Which question?
You get to choose one of them.
What?
You get to choose one of them. They will give you the same answer in different ways.
Okay, I'll do religion.
All right, do me a religion check.
I'll say my thought,
13.
and maybe Thig's thought is the if I can read Shinda's thoughts, see if there's still boy thought in there mind wise.
You said 18, Throgan?
13.
13. Thig, you can go ahead and cross off that spell for me if you want to do that.
It's another channel divinity.
Throgan. With a 13, you know that this kudzu, whatever it is directly linking the boy to the redwood. That is 100% you are sure, based on what Yuka has told you, this is something connected to the Lady Verdant. Something that you are confident of is these vines that are growing out of the boy. These tiny ones on his face have some sort of meaning. You don't know precisely what it is, you don't know why it's doing that, but you do know that it is something that even Yuka does not have. As somebody who...
Sorry, I didn't lost something.
Oh yeah, of course. You do know that these vines that are growing out of his face are something that even Yuka does not have, that even Tuka did not have. People who have followed this deity for over a decade did not show this. So it is not a normal sign of devotion. What you are unsure of with a 13 is whether the kudzu is natural to the Lady Verdant, or whether it is an invader. It could be either.
I have a suspicion. It's probably not true. This would never be true. I have a suspicion that the kudzu might be a symptom or a manifestation of the disease. Is there a way for me to check that? Would an Arcana check to see if it's like the same kind of purplish thing work, for example, or would I need to do a nature check regardless?
In order to learn if the kudzu is of the illness, I am going to say that you would need to have rolled better on the previous roll. So if you want a chance to if you want to have a chance to do it again, you would need to basically explain this to another party member so that they could also have a shot.
Cam, you're still standing right next to me.
Yeah.
I tried to explain this to you. I tried to explain that what I religiously know about the boy, about this level of connectedness to the redwood, and I explained to you what I suspect, although I use very careful wording to make sure it doesn't come into existence.
Okay. Okay.
Because yeah. Do you have any idea?
Well, with that, like to roll for, you said
Religion or
religion
nature.
or something.
Religion or nature.
Yeah, then I'm gonna roll with religion.
The druid is rolling
I
with
have a-
religion?
Yeah, I have a different religion, but like it's still druidic based.
Fair enough.
Not much better. It's a solid 7.
Fair enough. With the 7, with a 7, you will be able to confirm what Throgyn said. You will be able to confirm that the kudzu is definitely connecting the tree and the boy. You will be able to confirm that the vines are definitely not something that a steward of the woods would have. However, you are not able to confirm whether the kudzu is the infection or whether the kudzu is natural. Fig.
Yes, yep.
As describe to me how you are reading this. What does it feel like to Fig?
It's and this is deliberately that I'm not trying to go toward any divine mind reading. I am not trying to read the mind of Lady Verdant 100%. That is absolutely not what I want to do. So I suppose it's not that I think like with the clearing that we're in and like how probably entrenched and everywhere that she is, I am basically trying to focus on the mortal lives that are in this clearing, and if I can pick out Cam, Throgyn, Yuka, and then I try to find Shinda as well.
Fig. You begin passing through the minds of those in this clearing. It feels almost like you're flipping pages in a script. You find one and you're able to pass through it to the next, and the next, and the next, until you find the thoughts of a boy. 11. Son. He is there, and yet faint. You can tell the first thing you see is that there is a connection. On this mind, you're able to feel not a siphon, but a like a brackish connection between this consciousness and another, one that is much, much more powerful than any of the mortals you have looked at. You can see that this boy is still here, even if he is outwardly not conscious. As you step into the mind, and as you step into the thoughts of Shinda, you see a boy standing there in this expanse of nothingness. Not quite void, just more like a stage with the lights turned on. He's standing there in the center of it all, wearing leather armor. He's got a bow strung over one shoulder, arrows that have been very lovingly hand-fashioned in a quiver at his side. His hair is black. What does Fig look like when Fig steps in?
As Fig steps into this mindscape place location, it's a very like toned down Fig, so he doesn't have like his adventuring outfit on. Basically, he's got his like casual clothes, that's like, it's the, just a button down and some slacks, nothing else. And it's like, I don't know, he's got his, reading glasses on, and, as, he might take a few steps closer and then kneels down to, communicate with Shinda.
As you take steps closer, you see that the tips of the boy's hair begin turning blonde. And throughout the conversation, it will creep slowly up and up towards his scalp. Oh.
That the blonde hair is starting from the outside going in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fig, hi. Why are you here?
Because I was looking for you.
Oh. You found me? Hi. I'm kind of busy right now.
Can you tell me, what are you busy with?
Oh, well, making sure the forest survives. And
That's a very important job.
yeah, it is. Mom can't do it, and Yuka can't do it, so someone has to.
No, can I ask why you think your moms can't do it? Because I know Yuka's right outside, and I know she's worried for you.
And he just shakes his head really aggressively. And at this point, the blonde has reached about halfway up, and you can see that the tips of his hair are now turning white, completely colorless. Yuka can't do it because that's not what she was trained for. She's a steward. She communicates with people, she's not the forest. No one's the forest. Not really. But the Lady Verdant is dying. And if she dies, the plants die. And that's not good.
I understand your concern. We're here to help the Lady Verdant get better, Shinda.
Okay, then do it. But if you can't, I can't risk it falling apart.
I know your moms wouldn't want this for you.
They know about it. You are reading his thoughts. You know that he is not lying.
Sorry, what was the last word?
He is not lying. They know. There's a reason I'm learning things. There's a reason I'm learning primordial and how the forest works. And they don't need another steward. But Yuka wasn't happy about it, but she kind of knew that it was going to happen.
I will say, just letting everyone know, my instinct is just grab him, like, something out of here. Sorry, what is he? Is it like...
I did not consent to my boy getting generational trauma.
Joke's on you!
Yeah. It's, what is he, 13? I'm trying to remember
how 11.
I'm trying to remember how...
The boy
11.
is young.
No,
He's basically 10.
Okay, yep. But Shinda, if you could communicate with your mom, maybe you could help the Lady Verdant together. Outside.
We tried. She said she couldn't help her. Yuka said she couldn't help the Lady Verdant. We tried this years ago. It was the first thing we tried.
That was then. This is now. You've got company. You've got Throgyn. You've got Cam. You've got me. You've got so much more help.
Jeff?
Yeah.
I trust you and Throgyn and Cam. I've heard good things about you. But that woman out there isn't my mom. She didn't know who I was. I'm not stupid. I'm just little.
I know you're not stupid. There was a big difference in the person you knew, but it is still your mom, and she loves you so much.
I know. I know she does.
I'm really bad at getting an 11-year-old.
To be fair, it's also an 11-year-old.
Stop being crap for this.
To the other three of you.
Also, okay, with the read thoughts, I can also do a suggestion.
I am aware. I am distinctly aware.
Okay.
To the other... Hold 1 moment, May. To the other three of you. You see that the kudzu has begun creeping up Fig's legs as he stands still. Fig. Would you like to do your suggestion?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Or should I go with the intimidation where it's like your mom is going to be disappointed if you don't get out right now?
Up to you.
That's better at intimidation, but that's the better to be the other side. Now my whole conversation was persuasion, so but it's suggestion. If that can pop up. Let's see. Come on. It's weird because it's a... Oh, come on. And see, I'm trying to see, does it matter if I do it at a higher spell slot? Actually,
You don't get to do it at a higher spell slot, I don't think.
And I actually don't use a spell slot for...
Correct.
With the free thoughts.
Oh, excuse me. Let's go.
You are not excused.
You love me. You know you love me. The boy's not in danger.
I love you. But I am.
Yes.
All my friends here are.
Yes. It's my job.
But my mommy is. We're gonna fix her. It's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be awesome.
And I understand it might seem hopeless, but the best course of action is if we all work together outside to help Lady Verdant. If we put all our powers combined, we stand a better chance than you alone.
I'll give you time, and I'll give you hope. Leave this place while you can.
We can't. We need to speak up, DM.
Oh, sorry. I'll give you help. If it fails, you go back to this way. And then you will find
Give us
yourself
a chance.
standing outside in your body once again. The kudzu crawling up your legs. As you see the boy on the stump open his eyes. And they are a vermilion green.
They are
a vermilion.
Red?
Heart.
Oh. Okay. All right.
You made a magical child. I'm going to use the magical child.
Hey, tag.
You will see at Shinda's roots, black hair begins peeking through again. As Shinda's eyes open, and as you all get a chance to look around and see what's happening, you feel a rumbling through the air around you. You feel a rumbling through your chest, through the air itself, and then you hear a scream. It is the type of scream that is a wail of grief, of pity, of anger. It is the wail of a mother losing their son, of a widow losing their husband, and the scream of an animal taking its last breath. The trees, the leaves, everything around you begins shaking, and it sets off every fight or flight response in your body. You are a morsel to the greenery around you. Made only worse by the bear you see lunging out of the woods to position itself.
Lunging at what?
Out of the woods to position itself between you, Fig, and Shinda. It turns its flank to you so that it can keep both of you in its periphery. The kudzu around you gets stronger and starts whipping together. We are going to enter a skill challenge. Do you want me to? I will recap the rules for this, just for posterity's sake. The way that this works is, on your turn, you will get to take a action that would require you to roll a d20. This could be casting a spell, this could be using a skill, this could be attacking. Anything like that. If you can think of it, I will probably let you do it. The four of you will go in whatever order you choose. We're not going to roll initiative, you just go when you want to go. After the four of you have gone, I will take a turn as the antagonists in the scene. That being the Lady Verdant and the Lord Bestial. Shinda will not be acting during this skill challenge. The rules for this are, the first time a roll is attempted, the first time an action is attempted, it is as normal. If the same skill is attempted to be rolled again, if the same spell is attempted to be cast again, it happens at a -2 modifier. You will need to get 6 successes as a group in order to succeed in your goal. every single failure will make stakes more dire. Now, I'm going to give you a few different end conditions. 2 of them are established by me. The last one will be established by you 3. The first possible end condition for the skill challenge is all 4 of you, or however many of you are still up, escaping from this clearing. The second possible end condition for this skill challenge is all 4 of you unconscious or otherwise unable to take actions. What is the third possible end to this skill challenge?
Sunny, if you'd like to think what you want to happen the most.
Then
Can we do the opposite? Can we do the opposite of a DM one-on-one and just have you go away for 2 minutes?
I can deafen myself, I guess. Actually, no, hold on. No. Shut up for a second. I want chat to hear this one. So I'm just gonna leave the room. Text me on my telephone, I guess. Don't swear on my good Christian Twitch channel.
SMS chicken. Yeah, that is oldness.
I hope he's out. No, I still
Anyway.
see him in the
We love our DM so much. So good.
Yeah.
We love him so much.
I
So
am thinking,
fantastic. My period just started.
I am exhausted. I was crying so hard. My God.
I think I just developed a hemorrhoid and an ulcer at the same time.
I'm too tired to feel emotion, so that's also a problem.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a suggestion for you, Sunny. I was thinking of using Threadbreaker to cut out the disease because I feel like that's something that's happening.
I was thinking the same thing, just shoving it into the root system. I think this has to be we all have to be equal participants in some way.
Yeah.
Like Throgyn's using Threadbreaker, and Fig is using his religious arcana, and Cam is using druidic work to further supplement, and Yuka's doing the incanting or something like that. Does that?
It would also
track?
help me
We
to know if the kudzu is the thing.
We've established that this train of thought is not unlike.
So
Okay.
I will say, Cam, I know you've been able to perceive where the curses before. So if you'd like to maybe try
I could
yeah.
try that for my first action.
That would be great.
and then
If I go first,
Sunny.
I might perceive it, and then I can yell out where it is.
Yes,
I was gonna
I
ask
love that.
you
Well,
if
okay, what's up?
if I cast a magic circle to keep out, is it all elemental magic? Is that or primordial? Maybe primordial. Would that affect you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I doubt it because Yuka is not for you.
Well,
Because
that's the
first
problem
with-
because I think
just
if I were to
creatures,
use any arcana from that, I think the source of the arcana that Yuka uses is technically classed as primordial, so that would be up to
But it is,
DM discretion at that point, I think.
Is the spells for types of creatures? So, but you're technically you're half.
She's just a girl. She's just mortal.
Yeah. So that I might ask the DM about that and see if he can play with the rules.
So as
but I
for
thought
the
that makes
condition,
sense.
I think that's a great idea. I'm very down for that idea. As for the condition itself, do we want to be we just face whatever conditions happen and we stay up, but the condition itself is the infection is completely eradicated?
Maybe
Or maybe
also
just,
something about Shinda.
Or it's the Lady Verdant isn't dying anymore, even if like she's attacking us still, or it's that they're not attacking us anymore. Because we could like
Yeah,
persuade
like-
maybe, but
Because I'm fully prepared to lose all of my spell slots, so I can't do anything else for the rest of the day, and potentially take permanent hits to any of my stats to make this work.
Did we take a rest before this or not?
we did
Yeah.
have a long rest.
Oh, then I
So yeah, if
then I
you didn't
forgot
do
to
that,
click that button, and I'm gonna get 1 spell slot back, but it's still a 4th level one.
yeah, I don't know
Okay,
if
so we
if
want our
Throgyn had a long
condition
rest
3.
either.
I did.
I think you should go for curing the disease over them not attacking us. Because if Lady Verdant is fixed, Bestial will probably notice.
But I do feel like the RDM wants us to either be out of there or be dead or conscious. I feel like that's just like you need to be not in this situation anymore. So I feel like something like that needs to be included.
Or resolve the situation.
But
I'm thinking like, is there a resolution that just ends like with the infection is cured, Shinda is safe, and we incur whatever consequence of that comes, but we are just where we are and we're not in immediate harm or danger anymore, or there is no like lasting harm or danger.
Yeah, it could just be that Shinda's safe. That could be that like versus
But
the
Shinda,
rest of us.
if I hear him correctly, already think Shinda's safe. So we can say Shinda's back at your home.
And he's gonna. I mean, I persuaded him to come out of his
Part of anything.
magical.
He could also just be here and in good health, good spirits, not in immediate danger. Like he's okay. He's safe. The Lady Verdant is now no longer experiencing infection, and the infection itself is dissolved, and it's now something that her internal system can fight and defeat. And we're just there. If we're beaten, if we're bloodied, if we're a little fucked up, then we're a little fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling that our win condition is that the Lady Verdant is healed of this specific malady.
Okay. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any other ideas? Any other? Nope. What's chat saying? Hello, chat. Goodbye, chat. All right.
We're kidnapping chat.
Somebody
doing a challenge.
Raku's just like, ooh, the comedy is getting blue and the players are stressed out.
But plot happens, obviously.
I'm calling the boy.
Yes. I'm calling
Come back.
Splinter.
Bye.
Sorry, Raku, you are intimately involved because you're talking to us. So
Yeah. Here goes
What
the
did we
boy.
Unfortunately, you are in the group chat now.
Who's in the group chat? Oh, it's Raku.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, if I get kicked out of my stream, I'm having a snack.
I should also go get ice cream.
So,
I think we all earned a delicious ice cream treat.
Me too.
Emotional support snack.
so, my dearest players, what's the plan?
I feel like I've been hit by a bus.
I mean, we have to go out with a bang for our hiatus. What did you expect?
Truly. So the bang of which you speak, the win condition we've decided upon.
Yeah.
Win condition. The infection is completely eradicated, and the Lady Verdant has the tools, ability to. Did you have something, May? Do you want to rephrase before I put my whole foot in my mouth?
the curse on the illness on Lady Verdant.
That was my follow-up
don't
question. Thank
wanna-
you.
Yeah, not the entire thing. That might be a bit much for this one point of session.
Yes. She's okay. It's a normal infection. She can fight it off, and she will survive, and she'll be okay. Tina will also be okay. He's safe. He's all right. He's not facing the burden of having to fucking die for the woods. Jesus Christ.
He wasn't gonna die.
Or like,
It's all right.
if the Lady Verdant's alright, then he doesn't feel the obligation to see the woods.
He's not gonna become white.
He's healthy.
Okay, so
He's healthy. He's hale. He's hearty. And whatever we incur during the skill challenge is just what happens.
So, if I am understanding this correctly, in condition 1 is those of you who can escape, escape. End condition 2 is none of you are able to take actions any further. End condition 3, the desired end condition, is the Lady Verdant will be completely cleared of the infection. And she and Shinda will be allowed to live another day. Is this correct?
Sounds correct to me.
That's all I needed. We start our first round of the skill challenge. There is a giant redwood tree in the center of a 20-foot clearing covered in kudzu. Big is being restrained currently by kudzu growing up his legs, as is Shinda. There is a large grizzly bear, larger than any you would expect to find, currently stood between Fig and Yuka and Shinda. Throgyn and Cam, you are not inside of kudzu yet. Who would like to take their action first?
And with the assumption that the illness is in the roots, or whatever the stuff was called,
The kudzu, yeah.
Can I perceive what would be either the center of it or the heart of the infection?
Where the connection is.
You can see that the kudzu is connected to Shinda. It's crawling up his legs. You can see that the kudzu, as far as it is connected to the redwood in the center of the clearing, what you presume to be the Lady Verdant, it is currently growing out of a couple of knots in the main trunk of the redwood. You would assume that its center point is inside of the redwood somewhere.
Given that I did not have to roll for this, do I still have the action I can take?
Yep.
Oh, no, that was not the... Okay.
Immediately, I'm throwing your plan out the window. Cam? Okay, sorry. Let me... Give me a second. Cam, the DC on that was 20. Your passive perception is 23. Do you want to roll for it?
I don't know. Well,
I can perceive you.
Cam could perceive the thing of light if they wanted to at any given point in time.
okay, but assuming that that's actually like as much as I'm gonna get out of it,
Mhm.
I will like call out to everyone so that they also know that this is the presumed point of like the center of the infection.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Now I had not thought what I was gonna do next, but how far away am I approximately from the tree?
10 foot.
That's it?
20 foot across the whole clearing. Trees in the center.
Yeah. For some reason I thought it was like all the way over there.
No? Really
Oh,
close.
crap, look. Uh-oh.
The only thing is it's difficult terrain.
Okay.
You're a bird. You can be a bird.
I figured out how to burn. Yeah, don't bully me about it.
You can believe in you.
Okay. With that, I'm only next to Throgyn, right?
Yep.
Throgyn, do you have any? Oh, yes, you have that baby. That's fine. Throgyn, I'm gonna touch you and say you can do it as I cast freedom of movement.
Oh, incredible.
Oh wow.
That's fun. That's wonderful.
All right.
And then I think my go probably
Go on ahead.
that we decided for. That I like. So this is up to you, DM, for what if I can do magic circle to exclude primordial beings.
Read me the text for magic circle.
It's choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead. So it's sort of like they're similar to that, but it's not quite the same.
Okay. Read me, what does magic circle do again? Is it just like an instant you cannot be in this bubble?
Yeah, can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. Creature tries teleportation or interplanar travel, must succeed on a charisma saving throw, has a disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder, and targets within the cylinder can be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay. What I will allow you is, I will allow you to exclude one of them from the magic circle.
Yep. So, I'd like to cast that magic circle, and it's basically, I want it where it's like right up to the edge of the redwood. So Lady Verdant is not inside of it, but it's like I want a path so Throgyn can get to said redwood, and I'd like to exclude the Lord Bestial from it.
This makes sense. So, what you all see happen is Fig starts chanting, starts casting the spell. And almost as if it's exuding from Fig himself, you watch as this glimmering mustard magic, like mustard colored magic, shoots outward from him, forming this circle that shoots all the way up through the canopy until you can't see it anymore. Because of the size of the clearing, as you watch this wall of magic approach the grizzly bear, it sort of turns and it braces itself to meet this magic. And instead of being hit or attacked or anything like that, you watch as it's just pushed backwards. You all see the muscles and you all see the muscles just clenching throughout this entire thing's body. And where its feet are in the kudzu, as it's being pushed backwards, you see it tearing the vines out of the ground as it tries to keep itself steady. But the circle holds and it is pushed out of the way. It is now standing next to Shinda, who I'm going to say is just on the edge of the circle. But inside of it, Lord Bestial will not be able to enter normally. Who goes next?
I can go next. Yuka, you can also. Sunny, you can also go next. I don't know which is better.
I have an idea. If Throgyn comes up to Yuka while she's still like in contact with the tree, then maybe they can like operate Curse Breaker together. So like she does the incantation and he drives it into the redwood.
So you want to say what you want him to do?
What do you think of that?
I think it should work.
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm tuned to him, and I'm not sure if that's I can talk to him and he listens to me, or if that's about movement. So I'm not sure if it's a case of you should figure out exactly what can be cut loose or what not cannot be cut loose, or if it's you should say the exact way you want the disease to be gotten rid of. I don't know what your idea is.
She would want like this. I think she would want the specific phrasing to be cut away the curse and eradicate it so this is just an illness that can be fought.
Yeah. You have lesser restoration, right?
I am just going to mention that is not how Cursebreaker works.
You just like cut the bond between the curse and
Not how Cursebreaker works.
no. Yeah, fuck it. Do you want? Okay. So during our time away,
Yeah.
I discussed.
Yeah.
I am willing to lose all of my spell slots and take permanent hits to my stats if this will work.
Okay. Okay.
I want this to work.
Yes.
I want her to not be cursed and sick anymore.
Yes, but that's why I'm also telling you that that is not how Cursebreaker works. You can tell Cursebreaker that, but it will not let him do anything.
Right.
Last time we did it by pouring his energy into a vessel or something else.
Do you want to stab me?
If you want more information on how Cursebreaker works, I would let you roll an Arcana check. Or cast Identify if you have Identify. I do think it would help you in this situation.
Throgyn, you've got pretty good Arcana, right?
Yeah, it's +6 if I'm correct.
I also have Identify.
Yeah. I can do Arcana. I'm stressed. Okay. I want to know more information about Threadbreaker. I want to know specifically how he could help in this situation. I'm rolling Arcana.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, chat. I can't curse.
You're allowed to curse. It's mostly for a bit. Throgyn with a 9. Cursebreaker is a sword. Cursebreaker is a magic sword.
It's okay. It's okay.
The last time you used Cursebreaker, you did in fact pour its magic into a vessel. However, before you did that, you said something very specific that you felt activated the magic latent within Cursebreaker. It was not the method that caused the reaction. Unfortunately, with a 9, I can't tell you exactly what the activation phrase is.
It was the specific simple command?
With a 9, I cannot tell you what it is. With a 9.
Okay.
You do also, as you were holding this blade up and as you were looking at it, you see that red gem at its hilt awaken and flash with this burning fire inside of it. It's inky black. And you watch as a single crack begins to form up the hilt. It's not catastrophic.
May?
It was. I remember that like with the little. I'm gonna call it like a phylactery. That it was. You specifically had to say like, I want you to break this, where it's like, or maybe I'm trying to remember.
You're very close.
But it was like, yeah, it was that like you couldn't say like, oh, this curse is healed. It's that
Yeah.
this thing is only able to or yeah, like bonds or not bonds, but it's similar to that where it's that you can't like say that Lady Verdant is going to be naturally healed after this happens. It's something is broken.
But we could break the. Right.
Threadbreaker. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can call it Threadbreaker if you want to call it Threadbreaker.
At our curse breaker.
What would you rather I call you?
I am but a weapon, but a tool to be used. Make sure they send a surgeon and not a butcher.
Sorry, I didn't hear that sentence.
Make sure they send a surgeon and not a butcher.
You could also ask he, because he has some history with this sword.
I should ask Jeremiah. Jeremiah, why did you come here? No.
You hear crickets, literal crickets. I know. Sorry, you said we could ask he, and just in my brain, Spinning Monkeys by Kevin MacLeod started playing.
That sentence was with psychic damage, yes.
Yeah, well, you succeeded! I failed my save!
I walk forwards towards Yuka, towards the redwood.
I do believe you walk at normal speed because you have freedom of movement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Threadbreaker. While I say this, I open my own magical reserves, specifically to Threadbreaker, in order to help him any way I might. Threadbreaker, I want you to break the deadly curse off Lady Verdant.
You have called me Threadbreaker, so I will break the thread. I see May slashing an imaginary sword. I see a Throgyn hesitating.
I am
We
dying.
don't have a better idea. You can do it, Throgyn.
I am
You can
dying.
do it better.
Should I call him Threadbreaker? Should I call him? I thought Threadbreaker would be.
I am going to end your turn here because you have already rolled Arcana for your turn. Yuka, you are the last person to act this round.
Man.
There's a Throgyn standing next to you with an unsheathed sword that has a gem glowing at the end.
Yeah. Somehow I knew it would always come down to this, huh? I invoke the power of choice and change to rectify that which could not be, but now can. To concentrate the curse upon you, Lady Verdant, to a breakable thread that merely need be cut to make your infection curable and heal. Can I put something in this? Can I make this an Arcana or a
Yuka.
something?
Yuka.
Yar.
Your vision goes dark.
Okay.
You very
Fair.
distinctly sense yourself going out of your body. Not unusual. This has happened to you before, particularly during rituals or moments of intensive magical energy, intensive magical use. You have experienced out-of-body experiences prior. What you see this time is as you go out of body, in front of you, you see nothingness. That same nothingness that Fig was in when he was talking to Shinda. Although this time in front of you, you see a thin, white-lined diagram of a redwood tree. You see it zoom out into a forest, flattened, made two-dimensional in front of you. You can see the bark, the leaves, the xylem, the phloem, all of it, as if you were a surgeon looking at an anatomical textbook. The thing is, Lady Yuka, just like in an anatomical textbook, you can't see an illness as it is affecting a real person. You would need to choose what to cut, what to coalesce, and where to direct a blade. Would you like to roll me nature or medicine? Or something else?
Nature.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Survival. I'd like to roll survival, please.
Survival for you?
Or survival or insight, one of the two.
Survival will tell you what you need to do to stay alive.
Whichever one you think best.
Insight will tell you whether words spoken are the correct words. Neither will elucidate the diagram in front of you.
Okay, no problem. Let's do, in that case, nature.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Fig cast.
You still have guidance.
Yeah,
you
on
still have
me a while
guidance.
back, but that
was a
would
while
have
ago.
expired by now. So.
Yeah.
no
Okay.
problem.
Plus, I cast the
11.
circle and it's concentration.
Right,
so.
yeah.
11.
Yuka, with an 11. You concentrate. You try and pull at the movements of phloem, strength of xylem. You don't see this illness specifically in this tree. However, you are a capable druid, and you do know the places illness likes to hide. It likes to hide in small places so it can be spread. If something is small enough, it could circulate through the phloem. Otherwise, if it's bigger, it would stay stationary in one spot. It would not be able to spread to more distal tissues, primarily infecting wherever it landed, and killing the rest by sapping away their nutrients. The other option, a possible option, though one that you think is less likely. If the illness is in the ground, there is nothing a plant can do against it. If the illness falls from the sky, if it burns what it touches, there's nothing a plant can do against it. Yuka, you see 3 options in front of you. Small and in the phloem, spread through tissues evenly. Large, a mass of cancer growing somewhere it shouldn't. Or the last option, an environmental hazard. One where the only solution is removing the patient from the environment. That is what you get on your turn. Do you have any last words for your companions before I move to the Lady Verdant?
need a fucking cigarette. Jesus Christ.
Pathologic came out with a trailer and I'm dying.
This is
Oh my god,
doesn't.
my plant classes are quietly coming in handy.
Woo! Man, this is when I wish I had like the very quick I could just pop the meme in chat. Nah. Just overlay it on the stream. Anyways. Lady Verdant. Lord Bestial first. The bear begins lunging at the circle, throwing its whole body weight against it. When it is clear, it doesn't crack and it doesn't budge. You watch as he gets larger, limbs getting thinner, tipped with keratin, large horns, antlers bigger even than Fig, grow out of its head as its snout elongates until a moose is standing in the clearing with you. You watch as it rears back and it slams its antlers into the barrier you have created. But the barrier holds Fig. The Lady Verdant. The kudzu ripples around you four, and it begins to crawl up the legs of anyone who is in the circle. Throgyn and Yuka, I need you to make...
Yeah, anyone.
You need what?
What? Say again, DM, what was the legs of
you
anyone?
keep cutting out. Anyone who's...
Might be. Anyone who is in the circle. So Throgyn and Yuka, I'm going to need you both to make me a dexterity saving throw. Cam, you are outside of the circle, you are safe. However, Fig, you were already grappled.
Yep.
Fig, the kudzu can... Sorry?
17.
17 for Throgyn, what was it for Yuka?
18.
Yuka and Throgyn. You both are able to keep your feet moving, rip off the small bits of kudzu that managed to wrap around your ankles. You are neither grappled. Neither of you are grappled. Fig, the kudzu already had you, and it begins crawling further and further up you.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to struggle that hard.
At this point, it's captured your torso. If you're not careful, it will also grab your arms and your head. You feel it climbing up you, and Fig, I am going to need a strength saving throw.
It should be better than your dex save.
Or you risk being grappled and rendered unable of casting verbal component spells.
Me looking at what my spells. Most of them are a type of verbal, so I need that. Strength saving throw?
Strength saving throw.
That's an 8.
It's an 8. Big.
Yep.
Your moment of casting was just enough. It was all the Lady Verdant needed. As you feel kudzu begin to wrap around your wrists and climb up your arms, rendering you incapable of semantic casting. You feel it continue to crawl up you, and the leaves begin brushing against your neck and curling towards your face. You have the chance to do one last thing before they overtake you. Don't waste your round.
Bitch.
It is now back to you four. Who would like to go first? I need to buy you, like, gluten-free baked goods after this.
Yeah. If we want, I can finish the job, but Yuka, I'll need you to tell me where to cut.
Okay. So my gut biologist meta reaction is this is in like if it is an environmental toxin, then it does just as much good to remove the environmental toxin as it does to remove the patient from the environment, which is what we're en route to do. But me as a former medical researcher, infection in the small parts that bleeds out sounds like what has been happening. So I think that Yuka is going to direct Throgyn to aim for the channels of quick growth and quick dispersion that are tiny channels, like the root system, like the not the body, not the trunk, but just like the root system closest to the base.
And did you think of the third option, Yuka?
What?
Cancer option.
The cancer option. A larger growth that cannot travel through phloem. Just so I know that you have, done everything.
Possible? Right, exactly. I
just want to make sure you think about all the options.
Triple. No, here's the thing. You simply must understand before I go full fucking nerd and I start pulling out AJCC pathologic staging criteria.
Please.
Really show my entire ass. Okay, so here's the situation. AJCC. There is usually a T component, an N component, and the T component being the size of the tumor, the N component being the size of the tumor past a certain point, and then the M component determining metastasis to lymph nodes and to external organs outside of the origin of the tumor. Very clearly, all three of these are going on. We have the M component, done. We have the N component. There is a big tumor somewhere in there, done. So we have a metastatic tumor, and we have an environmental hazardous pathogen. This is an opportunistic cancer. This is basically Kaposi's sarcoma.
I don't know what the last word was, but it sounds good.
And that was the cervical cancer.
I love how that last bit got cut out by Discord.
Giving my mother HPV and that cervical cancer.
Okay, so it's a cancer? Yes, apparently. And
so here's the thing. This is very specifically, as I'm interpreting it, an opportunistic cancer as a result of an infection. So they are both still going on. And one is making the other worse. They're working in tandem. So one of us has to deal with the tumor, one of us has to deal with the metastasis, and one of us has to deal with the environmental pathogen, the hazard.
Would a lesser restoration, you think, be able to fix an infection if I cut away the cancer?
I have
that's something that I can do. You can cut out the part that is like the curse, the infection. I can put lesser restoration onto the tumor to basically concentrate radiation therapy.
Before you do that, I need you to check if lesser restoration can cure illness.
See, I would say I also have one, the full on just remove curse, if that's part of what we're doing.
Either one of these.
And then I also have, if you wanted to do a radiation type thing, I've got my inflict wounds, which I have to be touching, which you just said that Vine Kuzu were wrapping around my hand.
Oh no! I'm in danger!
I also have Scorching Ray, who wanted the laser therapy with light. No, it says that lesser restoration can end the disease, so I feel like that would work, right?
Yep, that would work. Thank you for checking that, Feather.
I will cast lesser restoration, and I will also have Revivify on deck to start bringing back the cells that are healthy.
So, just so I can check the order that you are doing this in, you would like to cast lesser restoration before cutting out any masses.
Yes.
Okay. Spend the spell slot.
This is terrifying. I'm so
Does it have to be?
scared.
Do you want it to be Val, do you want it to be second level for lesser restoration like normal, or do you want it at a higher level for better efficacy?
That is up to you. Just tell me what level you cast it at.
Okay, fourth.
Okay.
It's going the highest level I got.
Who's next?
I've been so mean to you this whole session, I'm sorry, but also you've been an absolute motherfucker, so
Look,
I love you.
so we were talking about this is related, I promise. We were talking about a D&D third-party expansion that came out a couple of months ago. I'm not going to say the name on stream because Twitch will fucking kill us. It is the one that was very, very raunchy that people like to talk about, but we can't talk about on any content platform because the internet has been sanitized. This is, I think, the D&D equivalent of that real-world thing because I went into this session knowing I was going to be absolutely bullied relentlessly, but that I was also going to cause my players suffering. This is why we have chats when we stop streaming. Anyways. It's called aftercare. We do that here.
Okay.
Who's
Fourth
next?
level, lesser restoration.
Yuka. You cast Lesser Restoration.
Yes.
You feel your energy
Yes, I do.
begin to be pushed into the Lady Verdant. It's a uniquely disgusting experience. You draw your power from her. This is not the direction it is supposed to go. This is you trying to push against a tide. Throw a cup of water back in the direction the ocean is traveling. It is difficult. It is bloody. And it is tiring. Exhausting work. You feel the tiniest trickle of your magic begin to flow into this tree. Not the tree. This goddess. It is a drop of water in a septic tank. Your magic is doing something. It is clearing cells. It is clearing illness. But the source is still there. And without the source being taken care of, this will do nothing. Make sure your friends are effective. Doctor. Who goes next?
Okay, so the metastasis is cleared. We've gone from 1C to 0 for the M category. This is good. We've gone from 1C to 1A. We've gone from 1C to 1A. It's no longer affecting other organs, it's just affecting neighboring lymph nodes. We can fix that. You don't need all your lymph nodes.
Should Fig go now or should I go now?
If you
Or if you want to try to do like the same time, I can try to. It depends on what you want me to, like. I've got the remove curse option, or I can just try to like damage. But I don't know if I can specify which part I am damaging.
If it is a touch spell, you cannot.
Yeah. So
Then
remove
I
curse
should
would be
maybe go
best.
first.
I also have a damage spell which is
Okay.
raised weird.
I had Threadbreaker ready.
So I have Light,
Oh.
which allows me to target a plant creature or magical plant or non-magical plant, but it's like I'm not sure which one of it would be. It's depending on the saving throw, but it's just damage to the creature or
Yeah.
plant. Okay. So that's an option.
Throgyn,
Well, potential damage.
what are you doing?
I had Threadbreaker ready. Yuka, what's the word you wanted me to Sunny, what's the word you wanted me to use? I cut out the cancer? Yeah, I cut out the growth, right?
the source, the growth, the source of the
Yeah,
tumor.
feel like that's
I'm gonna let this be. I trust you. I'm gonna let this be dealer's choice because I don't trust myself right now.
Okay. In that case, I feel like it's been covered by what we said before. So I have the Threadbreaker ready. Not only do I have my energy reserves open to a Threadbreaker, I actively try to push it. And I very carefully put it into a metaphysical 4th, 5th, 6th wall where this disease is infecting Lady Verdant. And I cut the Lady Verdant free carefully. I do it. My hand is careful. The Threadbreaker has its command.
Throgyn,
Yeah.
as you begin to push your arm forwards, because you currently have your arcane reserves open towards this sword, you feel Breaker push back against you.
I didn't hear that.
You feel Breaker push back against you. As you try and push forwards, as it becomes clear that you are trying to cut into this tree, you feel the sword in your hand hesitate. And you feel a thin purple aura travel from the sword up your arm and into the niggly bit in your brain where spells are kept. And you hear, "Are you sure that is my name?
Are you sure what?
Are you sure that is my name?
The last part cuts out.
Are you sure that is my name?"
You cut out.
No!
Can't say it. You can't say it doesn't happen. Good. Are you sure that is my name? It's had many names if you'd like to know. It's had
Your
many
intention.
names if you'd like to name it something.
Your-
There's so many names.
Your intention and the name you have given me are maligned. Are you sure Threadbreaker is my name?
Cursebreaker.
And it relents. And I need you to make me a medicine check, Throgyn. With your dexterity modifier, please. Oh no, Sunny K moved. I was gonna take a screamed cap as she was hiding behind her big hat.
Sunny K is going to space.
It's a
Shall
12.
I
That's terrible. That's okay.
On
Shall I
20
remove
scale
her?
success.
as well? So that it's
Honestly,
in this.
Let's do it. Guys, I can't stress enough. We are fighting stage 4 cancer and winning. That doesn't happen.
Throgyn, you push the sword through the bark, and it is difficult to cut. You are forcing your body weight against this sword as you feel it crunch and crush through the bark and into the soft wood beneath. And then you lurch forwards as you feel your sword catch an empty space. You see what Yuka saw. A dark space with a thin, white drawn diagram of a tree. Except for you, you are inside of it, and it is three-dimensional around you. You've been in a tree before, Throgyn. One of the few people here who has. You remember this. And you know that that thing there, that growth, this bright light of growth should not be here. And you swing with Curse Breaker and cut it out. Throgyn, most of the light is gone. However, you have a choice to make. Do you ensure all of the Lady Verdant is left behind, even if it risks the infection still being in her body? Or do you ensure all of the infection is gone, even if it cuts out some of the Lady Verdant with it?
Would have spent more time here.
No, it is a split-second decision.
So sorry, Feather.
I want to give you all a hug. Oh no. I'm sorry, Feather.
It's worth noting that both Feather and I had approximately 4 hours of sleep left. 3 hours.
We'll be fine with either one that you choose, Feather. It's okay.
Yes. Yes, it is okay.
I'm leaving a little bit of the curse, and as soon as I get out of that tree, I'm screaming at you, Fig.
Okay.
I'm screaming at you.
Throgyn.
Curse.
Throgyn. You cut out most of the mass. And as you cut it out, you watch as the light itself seems to implode and crush together before it's gone. Falling in front of you is a zircon, a small gem that seems as if it contains a sun inside. You may pick it up or you may leave it. It is the last thing you get to do before you leave this place.
Did not hear that sentence.
You may pick it up or you may leave it. It is the last thing you get to do before you leave this place.
The last thing you may do before you leave this place. Thank you. His mic is desperately trying to protect us from whatever vile terrors he wants to inflict upon us.
Bless
But
you.
it keeps cutting out the caveats and only keeping the danger.
My fave Bardigans, you cannot hear the Bardigan. Anyways.
It's just trade offer. I receive, and you receive.
Pick it up or leave it.
I pick it up.
You pick it up. And Throgyn, you find yourself back in your body. You are screaming at Fig.
Or actually, no, sorry. I'm only waving one arm. The other arm is strapped. Okay.
Who goes next?
Fig does.
Fig goes next.
And I will do a high level spell slot for remove curse. As it is a touch spell, which so I am gonna try to like push my magic from the kudzu to the redwood because that's where Throgyn cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of like I'm trying to push back any foreign bodies or I don't know, cancerous cells that I find, and I figure that that's where the curse is, where Throgyn cut into.
May, what level spell slot?
Is my highest one at a 4.
All right. Yuka. When Throgyn started screaming, or right before Throgyn started screaming, you felt a release of pressure as you were pushing your spell into the Lady Verdant. And all of a sudden, the tiny trickle of clean cells and of clean life you were able to give to her suddenly started meaning something. You now feel a second amount of energy coursing through the root network and through the kudzu. It feels like an IV line blowing out a vein. Yet, it does manage to wash up and clear out the last of the cavern left by Throgyn. Between Throgyn's careful cutting, reserved, leaving all of the Lady Verdant behind, and Fig's additional blast of energy, not drawn from Tom Tom, but drawn somewhere from Fig, from above Fig. Between Throgyn and Fig, they have managed
Also-
to... Go ahead.
And then I feel like then I get strangled. Anyway.
Between the careful work of Throgyn and the last minute assistance of Fig, you two have managed to clear out the tumor, this curse, this infection, this physicality that was still inside of the Lady Verdant. Cam, would you like to do anything? It is your
I have
turn.
a question.
Yeah.
And that's because you're very big on technicalities.
Yeah?
I have Aura of Vitality as a spell.
Yeah.
And it's healing energy, but would that then also heal the bat?
No,
Because I feel like
it would
but
not.
also in
And
that case,
very specifically, the reason it would not is because Throgyn and Fig have just removed it from the person you would be healing.
but it's an aura,
Yeah.
so everyone's affected.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll start emitting. I'm gonna have to place it on the map, but
Doesn't matter.
I think that works. I don't know. Did it show up?
I believe
We're
you.
not really looking at a map.
No, as in I want to see if it showed up in like the dice rolling chat, but it showed up.
Ah, fair
So
enough.
I'm still on the edge of the clearing. It has a 30-foot radius, so it well covers the clearing.
Covers everything, yeah.
Any animals or plants within it would then also.
Sounds good.
They wouldn't actively be healed unless I choose to, but it is healing energy. Yeah.
Cam.
Yeah.
You feel yourself casting. You don't know how. But you hear yourself shout something after you've shouted it. As if control was wrested away from you for a moment.
Yeah, I really can't hear like any finishing half of the sentence.
Oh no! You feel control wrested away from you for half a moment. As your body shouts. You see your companions stand up a tad straighter. Look a bit more alive. And you see Shinda's hair slowly darkening as he is in your aura. Yuka, you once again feel this diagram in front of you strengthening. Feeling more stable. Feeling like it could survive on its own. It will be weak, as anyone would be after an ordeal like this. But she would be alive and she would be stable. Were you to let go?
Okay. Before I let her go,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to cast Cure Wounds just as an extra boost to help her heal faster.
Sure, I'll let you do that, even though you're not technically allowed to.
I just like it's more than anything. It's I don't even want to say it's symbolic, but just like a okay, I did what I was supposed to do and I did what I said I was going to do. I want to do more than that.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
want to prove prove to you that I am like dedicated to this cause, and I'm not leaving until I know you're good.
Yep, you're allowed. Go on ahead.
Sure wins. Boop.
With Cam's spell, you have reached 6 successes, and you have passed the skill check. The Lady Verdant is completely cleared of the infection, and Shinda is safe. Fig, the kudzu begins to retreat from you, slowly letting you go. Throgyn, you feel that tickle in the back of your brain again. You made a good choice. Breaking a thread. It's a broad swing. There could be more than one thread on a person at a time. And as you look at that gem in your hand, Throgyn, as you look at it, this is a light you have seen before. This is a light that the last time you saw it, you and them parted on less than stellar terms, if you'll pardon my pun. Inside of your hand is a crystal of relevancy. Do with it what you will, but do it intentionally. You are all able to act as you will, but for time's sake, I will leave you with this. Shinda is let go of the kudzu. His hair slowly returns to black. And you see that when he stands up, he walks to you, Fig, and hugs you. You feel the hem of your shirt grow wet with his tears. And then, after a few minutes, he lets you go. And he walks over to Yuka. I'm sorry for doubting you. I know you're not my mom, but I see that you're trying to be. Thank you.
She pulls out the thread that she got from Tuka, the ring.
Shinda looks at it, takes it from you. Why aren't you wearing your wedding ring?
Because your mother gave it to me.
Oh,
And I didn't know if I was worthy of wearing it yet.
you see that he holds it. He looks at it, and then he looks back up at you, Yuka. Then I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it until you think you do. Because I think you do.
So very wise beyond your years, fledgling.
I had a good teacher.
She is healing. But I cannot wait for you to be your grandmother.
I think I already did. She cares about you a lot. That's why she didn't ask you to do this. And with that,
Women in this family have some trouble with that.
and with that, the oppressive atmosphere around you four begins to lighten. Sun begins dappling through the leaves, ever so slowly. The Lord Bestial calms. He does not grow smaller, but he does grow kinder. As you see that he walks up to the tree, kneels and lays down next to it, antlered head resting against the trunk. The four of you see two things. The first is that as he
Say it
lays...
again?
The four of you see two things. The first of which is as he lays down, he lets out a sigh. As he does so, his muzzle turns gray. His hairs grow coarser, less shiny. It's almost as if you watched him breathe out life essence itself. As you watch this creature age decades in the span of a moment. You see the willpower of somebody that was holding on because they had to finally be given the chance to relax. He no longer has to be strong. He can just be. The second thing you see is as you look at Yuka, and as you look at Throgyn. Where Yuka sits under her hat, you watch as droplets of comets begin falling down from its brim. The same sort of sickening light that was in the clearing a moment ago begins illuminating her face underneath the brim, turning so that if she chooses, her eyes can always remain in shadow. She looks ethereal, the sort of creature that a sailor may call a goddess, or at least a messenger of one. Throgyn. As you look at Throgyn, it's a bit different. It's no glistening halo, as Fig had, and it's no ethereal stars, as Yuka did. But it is something that is caked in sweat. Rivulets of dust. The breath of a laborer, of a craftsman who has finally completed a magnum opus. You see in his hand a bright light, the flame of creation itself, while in his other, you see a weapon. A weapon that, through or against all odds, he turned into a tool of precision. A tool not of death, but of life. Something swords are not usually meant to do. As you look at Throgyn, you see the tiniest places where his sweat collects, and where you presume his skin is the thinnest and you could see his blood underneath. There is gold there instead, molten, not hurting him, but illuminating him with something that no one else has. And that, my dearest players, is where we will end our session for today. With all of that being done, holy crap, this took an hour longer than I expected. So, players, so that we're all on the same page, you succeeded. Good job. You did it. Holy crap, guys. I'm so proud of you. You did amazing. We are now going to have a 2-month hiatus. We will be back on a day that I've already forgotten the name of, but I think it is the end of May, potentially the second week of June. I don't know, it's one of those two.
Time for us to rest on our laurels for 2 months.
It is on my Ko-fi and my Patreon. We have the schedule posted of when we will be back, if you are curious about that time. What I want to tell all of you right now is you have now cured 2 plague victims. Completely and totally. In 2 different ways, might I add.
It's awfully inconvenient.
You have, however, also healed a goddess, primordial goddess, which is no small feat. we are entering we are currently in the last arc of this campaign. I predict about 4 sessions left until the end of our campaign. And I think you all have ideas on what you will do next. However, that is for 2 IRL months from now. So, before I start saying anything else, I would like to send the floor to Sunny K so that she can plug herself.
Hi, I'm Sunny K. I make music that you heard in the stream. You can go to heysunnyk.bandcamp.com if you liked it. If you have money to spend, and I understand if you don't. Jeez Louise! If you have money to spend and you like the music, it is available for purchase and download at heysunnyk.bandcamp.com. If you're not interested in that, that's okay. There are charities all over the world that could really use some financial support at this time. The number one that I'm always going to plug, because I am a field partner, not sponsored, is Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders. They do a lot of great work. If you know of another charity that's local to you, that supports a cause that's important to you and helps vastly improve people's material conditions and their day-to-day safety, their health, their wellness, please donate if you can, and volunteer and spread the word if you can't. Thanks.
With that, I would like to plug our lovely artist doing portraits on those random bits over there. These lovely portraits are by Randa's Art. He is actually currently taking commissions for portraits of your own if you wish for portraits of your own. I know that he has a Twitch, so you can probably message him on there, and I hope that he will check his messages. I will tell him to. Other than that, you can find all of our old VODs on YouTube at Nalise RPG if you want to relive the, oh my goodness, last year of these streams in the 2-month hiatus that we're about to take. If you want to share it with anyone else, please feel free to. I hope that this is a good spot to leave it on for now. We will be coming back. We will be finishing this. So help me. I will force players into this game. And in the meantime, and in these next 2 months,
I thought I was doing this voluntarily.
I mean, you are doing this voluntarily, but like, you gotta finish it, you know? In the next 2 months, what I will be doing while I am not streaming is I will actually be planning the campaign for after we finish up this one. I already have some ideas cooking around in my head. Hopefully a little bit more lighthearted than this game, because holy crap. We could not have predicted this.
One of your ideas is not going to be more lighthearted.
No.
One of the ideas you had is very much the opposite of lighthearted. Like, it's great and it's wonderful. And again, hello audience. Our DM is incredible, but also it's not lighthearted. Don't pretend.
What?
You can't set the fans up for failure like that.
Oh yeah, lighthearted. It's gonna be bears and what is the bears and butts one? The bears and honey? I don't know.
Honey
Honey Heist. No, it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark because that's what he's like. Look at the paintings behind him. Look at those.
I do have, and we'll be talking about this after stream, but I do have something relatively lighthearted that is planned if DM would like to take a break from DMing.
I think I know what it is, and I am still down for it. But look, I could not have a year ago predicted where the state of the world would be, and if I had known where the state of the world would be, I would not have started this campaign in the way that I did, because holy crap. You're right, the next one might not be lighthearted, but it will be different, and it will hopefully not be the state of the world as it is outside right now. So, meh. With all of that being said, I'm going to quickly throw us to the end screen. I will actually raid a person, because I think there is a person live right now. It's Scoon's Tavern. I'm going to see if I can raid him. Yeah. So, with that being said, unless anyone else has any other goodbyes. That's a no? Cool.
Thank you for watching. To our regular stream viewers, thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, our regular YouTube viewers and participants and all of that. You guys are great. Thank you for putting in the love and the effort and letting us know what you like to see.
It's
we're
nice.
very grateful, and we're always grateful for the opportunity to gas up our DM, who's great. We love him very much.
He's incredible.
Even when he pulls shit like this.
With all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed our session today. I hope in your games that you continue to play, if you continue to play them, your rolls are good. Your games are fun. You and your players, or you and your DM, all have a good time. And hey, I hope that maybe in 2 months you'll come back and you'll watch the rest of this campaign. And in the meantime, I hope you get to play once more with feeling. See y'all.
Off Baratar, shining shores, fine sailing folk are we. The line between the sea and sky, our only boundary. On crashing waves and even tides, we'll navigate the sea. Steadfast our mission in our minds to keep these waters free.